Today we're going to make a white sauce, otherwise known as a bechamel sauce. All right, it's very easy, but it does need your attention. Okay, so I have washed my hands really well. All right, I've got on my apron. My surfaces are all lovely and clean. Okay, you need to do this with an adult or a grown-up. All right, okay. So I'm going to use a saucepan. I'm going to heat that saucepan, and this is 50 grams of butter. All right, it should be butter. You can use margarine, but butter's better. You need to watch the butter though, because it will burn. So 50 grams I'm going to pop into there, which is into my saucepan. That will start melting quite quickly. All right. Now, the secret of a good bechamel sauce is to make sure that you cook the flour. And when I say cook the flour, I mean literally the flour needs to cook in the butter. If you don't do that, it sometimes has that taste where you can taste the flour at the back of your mouth. It has a sort of, I suppose it is really sort of a floury taste, which is not very nice. So you need to cook the flour out. It's really cooking the gluten out. So once the butter's all melted, you shoot in the flour. This is plain flour. You want to turn the heat down. This is plain flour. And what you want now is, this is called a roux. Okay, it's a French word. And basically you want a paste, a nice paste. So allow that paste to bubble away. Now, if you were going to use this sauce and you wanted it to be more of a gravy sauce, you would take it to the next stage where it's light brown. It's called a velouté sauce, all right? But I'm working on a white sauce, so I don't want to take it that far. Now, this is when the problems start happening. You've cooked that out for 2 minutes, is when you put in your milk. I've got 300 milliliters of milk. If you want to cut down on your milk, you could always use a mixture of milk and water. It doesn't matter. But what you want to do is pour the milk in and stir at the same time. So you might find this easier to do this with somebody so that they can hold the saucepan and you can stir, because you've got a lot to do here. You've got stirring and pouring and mixing and holding it all over the heat. So once all the milk's in, you put that back onto a heat and you bring it to the boil. And this is when it will thicken. So you can't go anywhere now, you've got to watch it. Okay, so I'm going to season it a little bit as well. I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper. I'm going to put in a little bit of mustard because I know that I'm going to be adding a little bit of cheese to the sauce, all right? And then you can hear it. I'm going to give it a really, really good stir. And what will happen is that will become thick. You've got to keep stirring it. Don't let it burn on the bottom. So keep it moving all the time. And you will end up with a thick sauce. It is just beginning to thicken now. If you want that sauce to be spicy, then you can always add more herbs and spices. It's completely up to you. So once that's thickened, you can then use this sauce. Some of the recipes I've used it in are macaroni cheese, a lasagna, or something like a cauliflower cheese. So basically, it's a white sauce that is very versatile that you can use for lots of different recipes. And that is how it will look. This one is obviously, it's much colder now, but it is thick. If this is too thick, this sauce, don't worry about it. Just add a little bit of extra milk or some water. It doesn't have to be milk. And there you have it. That is your white sauce. You do need to keep stirring it so that you don't have any lumps. Enjoy.